Hello, welcome to NOM with Sam Stone. I'm Sam Stone and I am an author, a home cook, a wife and also a mother, and I'm very happy today to be making for you my family recipe chocolate cake, which I call the Omen. And the reason I do that is because there's 6, 6 and 6 of the main ingredients. Now, start off, I use some butter, 6 ounces of this. It's actually not real butter, this is stork. Then I use 6 ounces of caster sugar and 6 ounces of self-raising flour. So what I've got to do first is cream the butter and the sugar, and I'm going to do this a bit differently than I normally do it because I normally do it by hand. I'm going to try to do it in my food processor. So this is a first for me. It might not work, but we'll give it a try. Well, that seems to be done, and that was so quick. No, not quite. Just checking that out, but I don't think it's quite in yet. No, it's not quite creamed. No, I don't think it's quite ready yet. That sugar's still a little bit too crunchy, so it's got to be creamed a bit more. Give this a go. Get that back in there. Let's give it a go. A bit longer. Well, I think we've done that, so that's good. Looks good to me. So next bit, we're going to add some egg. Now I've got 4 eggs in here. You can use 6, but I always think that 4's enough. So I'm going to slowly dribble it into here while the blender's going, and it's going to mix in, I hope, very carefully. We've got to try and make sure that this doesn't curdle. So it's going to have to be a really slow process. So we'll see you on the other side when it's all in. Wow, that looks great. It's all mixed into the butter and the sugar. Looking good. Now we can add the flour. So I'm going to feed in the flour slowly but surely. It's going to be whipping, so I won't be able to speak over it, much to everybody's relief. I'll just put a few scoops in first and set this going. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a hand mix with a spoon because some of it, having not used a food processor before to do this, I'm a bit perturbed, shall we say, by how much of the batter is getting kicked about on the sides but not actually getting mixed in. So I'm going to just make that happen myself. I think this just needs a very, very short, one little short whisk, and then I'm going to start adding the cocoa. So I'm going to have to sieve in some cocoa, and this is again a bit of a slow process because I'm not sure how much of it I want in there, and I'm going to hand turn this all in for the moment because I'm going to have to taste it and see how chocolatey it is and how chocolatey I like it. I've always done it this way, never really measure things that much other than the basics. Let's give that a little turn. I think it's going to need much more yet. That's not looking chocolatey enough for me yet. Needs much more. Make sure there's no lumps in there. butter. I think I'm going to whisk this up a bit now, and then we'll give it a taste and see how it is. Bit I'm going to do by hand actually. I'm going to get rid of the whisking there. That's looking good though, it really is. Oh, look at that. Don't waste any of this. Lovely stuff. Well, I hope this works out. It certainly seems very smooth. Seems to have whipped in all really well, and I think that's pretty chocolatey too, so I'm going to just give it a little taste, just see what I think. Oh, that's really good. Do you remember that when you were a kid, eating all the batter off the spoon? Love it. Oh, David. After that pause, there is still some batter left. David didn't get it all, and so I'm going to take it off here. I'm going to pour it into my pre-prepared tray, which has got some greaseproof paper in, and this is, I'm going to smooth this out so that it all gets spread over evenly over the tray, and then I'm going to pop it in the oven at 180, which I've already pre-warmed in preparation. Get all of this lovely batter out of here because it's just too good to leave. Which I'm going to do now. So here we go. I'm going to put it in the middle. This is it's not a fan assisted oven this. I prefer to use my traditional for most things, and for cakes at least I feel I can control how long. So it's going to be about 10 minutes, and I'm going to check it because it doesn't take long when the oven's already pre-warmed up, so it should be pretty quick. Courtney, add something while we wait. I'm just going to check if it's ready now because I can't quite remember whether it is 10 minutes or 20 minutes because it's been years since I made this cake, but it's doing stuff in the oven, so let's have a look. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I don't think that's ready yet at all. It's still wobbly, but it's really swollen up. It doesn't normally do that actually. It must be to do with the food processor. I think we're going to give it a little bit longer. Right, we've given it another couple of minutes and it actually seems done now, so I'm just going to test it. Just see in the middle there. Yeah, perfect. I think we better get that out before it cooks even more. Wow. I have to stick that in a cooling tray now. So I'm just going to put this on the cooling tray and hopefully, wow, look at that. This is going to work. I'll let that settle for a bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to go and make the buttercream to go in the middle. So I'm going to make some buttercream, and what I'm going to do is get a big scoop of the stalk. I think that would be plenty. And then I'm going to add icing sugar, basically to taste, till I feel it's right. So I'm going to put a big dollop of this in first. Woo! That was a big dollop as well. And then I'm going to mix it into the butter. This, oh. It's like the Muppets all over again here. the Swedish chef, was he Swedish chef? Was that what he was? Gosh, I forgot how messy this was. It's just more of it's out of the bowl than in the bowl at the moment. But there we go. We're getting there now though. See what's happening here as butter sort of softens a little bit, the icing sugar's getting soaked into it. And oh yeah, we're starting to get the right consistency now. That's sort of creaming it a little bit. But I think I'm still going to put more icing sugar in there. Just try it a little bit, taste it and see what I think. Yeah, it needs more icing sugar. Definitely does. Not too much, just a bit more. And it's about how it tastes really to me. I think it should taste really sweet and buttery as well. It's really nice. And I think that's about right now. It also turns the stalk a little bit more whitey looking, less yellow. So it's a bit about how it looks, how it tastes, the consistency, and that's all good for me. What I'm going to add to it now is some hot chocolate. Well, actually cocoa powder, not hot chocolate. So I'll just get my sieve. Sieve some of this in. Probably don't need all that much, but we'll see how it goes. Because again, if you're going to make chocolate cake, it should be chocolatey, shouldn't it? Give that a stir. Try not to splash loads of it out of the bowl. See? Oh, that's looking good. I think that might actually be, might just put a little bit more in, but it's not far off this. I'm happy with that already. Make sure we blend it all in as much as possible. Maybe put a little bit more chocolate in, just a tiny bit. Oops, always gets carried away. You think you're tipping a little bit in and the whole lot goes in, but that's fine. More chocolatey the better in my opinion. So yes, this is definitely the right thing now. Lovely. Look at that. Very chocolatey, very creamy. Beautiful. Right, and it's cooling nicely, not quite 100% cool enough yet. I'm just cutting a little piece off and I'm going to give some to David to try, and I'm going to try some. There you go, give that a try, see what you think. One. It's good. Very light.
Very nice.
In
very,
fact,
very nice.
I think it's lighter because of being in the food processor, which I normally do it all by hand, so that's good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this in half now, because we're going to have half of it's going to be the bottom and I'm going to put it on a plate, and then the other half is going to be the top of the cake, so it's going to be 2 layers. It's good. Let me see. I'm thinking about that. So you never measure anything. Terrible. And just do a little bit of that. Take that out. And then I'm going to get this cake on here. Well, managed it. It's not a very flat plate. Maybe I should use another plate. Just get another one. So now I'm going to put the buttercream on. Lots of it here. And just spread it out. Cake is still a little bit warm, but I actually like to do that. And the reason I do, there is a method in my madness, because any other chef program would say to you, wait till it's completely cold. But the reason I do it is because the chocolate and the butter melts into it a little bit. Then when I put the top on, we put it in the fridge, and then it goes a little bit fudgy, if that makes any sense. I'm going to put the top on now, for the piece. There we go, moment of truth. Does it fit? Not bad at all. Quite pleased with that. So now I'm going to go and put this in the fridge and let it cool for a bit while I make the icing sugar. There we go, it's nice and cold in there. So Cake is now cool. It's been in the fridge for quite a while. We had a short break, a little bit of a break. And now I'm going to make icing sugar. Dead easy, you all know how to do this. Teaching you to suck eggs. So basically I've got quite a lot of it in this bowl. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Just a little. Because you can really overdo it very quickly with icing sugar. Mixing it in. Hopefully it won't be lumpy. Oh, there you go, becoming a nice paste. Need a little bit more water. So. Now I do want it a tiny bit water at this stage because I'm going to add some cocoa powder again and make this into a chocolate icing. Might have to make more actually, that doesn't look enough. But let's get some of the cocoa in and see how that looks first. I'll put a bit more of this in, I think. Need a lot more, I think. Hard to tell because it just disappears into nothing. There we go. There we go. Mix that in. Yeah, good mix up there. It's all dissolving. No lumps that I can see, which is good. Put some of this cocoa in. And quite a lot actually I'm going to put in here, make it really chocolatey. Again, just to taste, to see what I think. It's my usual MO, isn't it? So I'm mixing that in. And that's also thickening up now the icing sugar again. That's why I did it a little bit waterier. I think it might need, even now, a little bit more water in there. It's looking pretty chocolatey, but I'm going to put a little bit more in. If in doubt, add more chocolate. There we go. And I need a little bit more water. Just to make this work a bit better. There we go. Nice. Press card stirring there. Well, that's good. Now I want it quite set because I'm going to spread it on top of the cake here. And I'm also going to use some of this water to help me do that as and when. Let's see how this works. Whoops. I'm a maniac. But I'm gonna love it anyway. A bit more up there. Corners. And I don't mind if it drips down, but I'm not deliberately going to put it on the sides. Just usually do it on the top. But it might drip down too, which will look quite cute. Right to the edges. Lovely. It's definitely not British Bake Off here, but it's going to taste good. And I'm happy with that. So, back in the fridge now for a very short time, just till it sets. And then I'm going to cut it all up, ready for Sci-Fi Weekend then. And that's my Omen chocolate cake, all finished.